Hello guys, welcome back guys. Today we're going to be reacting to a video made by YouTuber Deconstructing Narcissism. I started watching this YouTuber Deconstructing Narcissism because I could relate to this guy very much of how I could relate to his point of view on the government system that we live in and in this life and how I view this life. Deconstructing narcissism is, I don't know if this guy is an anti-natalist, but he is holds somewhat of an anti-natalist belief. This because this guy too, he's against the system. I'm also against his government system too, but he's against the system too. He basically speaks on most of his videos and topics are about how we was basically born here just to work and die in a corrupted system. Everything in the system is corrupted. People are shallow as shit. People are shallow as fuck. This whole world we live in is fake and phony. Everything is fake and phony, and it's starting to fall apart. So yeah, that's why I started watching this guy. I definitely like his point of view on politics. Because he'll even go on rants about how politics is bullshit. Why the fuck do we vote for rich people? You're rich and we're not. That's the difference. And second, how will rich people relate to regular people anyways? Every political figure is rich. Like your Charlie Kirks and Candace Owens and any other liberals too, they're rich too. But the Candace Owens and the Charlie Kirks and all the other ones, they're the political pawns because they're just sent just to recruit people into politics. They'll go have you at a college just to recruit young people who know no better to go into the political trap. Politics is a trap. You sit there and sit there and cast your vote. You sit there and cast your vote only for the opposite to happen. Like for instance, a lot of people claimed if you vote for Trump, America's supposed to be better since we voted for Trump. But obviously Donald Trump is in the office, fucking shit up some more. If you haven't, if then these rich people, we vote for rich people. Our whole life evolves around rich people. The economy evolves around rich people. You've seen all those rich puppets when Donald Trump got in office. All those rich puppets was at his inauguration. All these political figures are backed by rich people. Politics. There's money into politics. That's why you see all these grifters on the internet going to the political field. Politics has money in it. And people are so fucking stupid for Trump rallies. People literally was giving donations to the Trump rallies. And this man is a fucking billionaire. Trump is a billionaire. Your liberals are billionaires, or some of them are billionaires and millionaires. Rich people cannot relate to regular people. Rich people will always work amongst each other because business is business. We're nothing but cattle to these rich people. These rich people make up laws, evolves around them. The economy evolves around rich people. Oh yeah, the GDP rate, all this other shit. If the economy does good, it's not going to benefit us. It's going to benefit the rich people at the top, but not everybody can make it at the top. You know, and it's that's, you know, this whole society is bullshit. We was put here just to worship a dollar. So I'm about to play this video. Copyright reasons, I'm not making money off this video, and or I'm not stealing this content. This is for educational purposes, fair use.
So, you know, I've been thinking about lately, and I've been thinking, why don't Americans fight back? Why don't we fight back? Why don't we do something about it? What are some of the reasons? Like, why, for example, in other countries, in France, for example, in UK and other countries, they actually fight back and they do something about it. I think that, like I said in one of my previous videos, there's one, I think I forgot what country, it's like Nepal or something, like where they burned down buildings. They didn't manage to kill anybody, surprisingly, but they burned down a bunch of buildings. They had literally the politicians and the people in power over there were fleeing due to it. And this was Gen Z. This was Gen Z. France, for example, France knows how to do riots. Just like I said in previous videos, France already had the revolution, right? They know what happens when the government gets out of control. They know what happens when things get too bad. And that's what happens is what we're seeing now. We're living in a complete.
Well, Americans, first of all, are too docile to fight back because Americans, as long as you give them, as long as you poison them, blocking their, as long as you block off the Americans, what's that whatchamacallit called, the pineal gland. As long as you give them unhealthy food that will block out their pineal gland, they're not going to fight back. As long as you give them Pornhub, OnlyFans, hip hop music, etc., they're not going to fight back. Americans indulge in too much food, sex, and entertainment. Americans are like pigs. You can feed them slop and they're happy as long as they get some slop. American people, they've been trained just to suck up to their government. Oh, a God-fearing country. I'm a conservative. I stay loyal to my government. Or you have the soft-ass liberals. I'm going to give up my guns. I'm going to give my guns away to the government because people should have guns. We should take guns off the streets and let the criminals rape and rob us in broad daylight. Let's get rid of the guns and leave it up to the police to save us. You leave it up to the police, they're not going to do shit. Matter of fact, the law enforcement are going to wait until you get raped or robbed so then do something about it, because that's how they move. Law enforcement don't give a shit about you. Not saying not all law enforcement are assholes. I know some pretty cool guys that's in the law enforcement. Really good guys on top of that. Second, and then you have the conservatives, and then you have the dumbass libtards. So American people on either side, they've been trained to suck up to their government. American people won't blame their government. You can't blame the U.S. government. How would you have the U.S. government if there's two wings to be focused on? Okay, Biden's in the office, fucking up the economy. You know, it's the whole government's fucked up. Let's go. Let's go blame the liberals. Okay, Trump is fucking up the government. Let's go blame the conservatives. Oh, I forget, we can't talk about Trump because we're going to be libtard. So let's not say anything about it because we don't want to offend people. But at the same time, the libtards put policies in place to fuck up the government. Oh, we can't talk about Trump here because Trump is the Jesus of America. You know, we gotta worship the Jesus of America and become a conservative, God-fearing country. Yeah, bullshit. So either side, you know, Americans don't look from like it's the whole government. Americans been trained liberal and libtard and conservative. So that's all they're gonna know is the libtard and conservatives. So American people, their point of view on politics is kind of based on emotions rather than logic. So that's why you won't see Americans revolt like the French people or the people in the Middle East or any other countries. They're too loyal to their government.
Totalitarian, a fascist type country where the dictator is Trump and the rest of the people are at the mercy of the government and the corporations, where there's little money to go around, there's little jobs to go around, there's pretty much nothing to go around. Everybody's struggling except the top 5 to 10%, very top 5 to 10%. So it just got me thinking, why don't Americans struggle? Why do Americans refuse to fight? I think one of the reasons is the gaslighting. Americans are constantly gaslit about how great this country is. And we've been told, it's basically been drilled into your head since you were a little child about how great this country is. America's the greatest country in the world. America's the greatest country in the world. Nobody ever could beat us. No, in infrastructure, nobody could ever beat us in how rich we are, how much money we have, even though that's not true, even though we're trillions of dollars in debt. All the wars we fight are for good. We're always fighting on the side of good and always fighting against evil. Like when we never do anything wrong. We are always the good guys in every story, in every scenario possible. And this is nailed into our heads. This is nailed into our heads as kids, you know. And this is nailed into our heads even as adults right now. So I think that's another reason. It's just we're just so gaslit into believing this is like the best country in the world. There's no other greater country in the world than us, right? I think the other reason people just are, you know, I think this the main, you know, I think most people already know this, but it's because we're just working all the time. We're working all
Well,
the
first of all, so they do say America is the best country in the world. Now I will now I'll give America this. At least America does have a good somewhat of a good uh, a good welfare system, I would say, but the welfare system is slowly disappearing. Like in America, you get Section 8 food stamps and other shit, financial aid and other stuff. So America does have a good welfare system. Second, they do say America is the so-called best country because you get job opportunities, which the opportunities is starting to slowly dry up. The corporate people being laid off, tech people, soon it's going to reach people in the trade. So the trade is like the only secure job that you will have over here in America. So then it's the then in America you allowed to own guns too. So at least America does encourage gun ownership in certain states. So I will give America that. At least America America do encourage at least America does encourage gun ownership and have some sort of like a good welfare system. I'll say, but other than that, no, it's not the best country in the world. Like for instance, New Zealand is a better country because the infrastructure is better out there, and you wouldn't see fentanyl addicts and have to worry about stepping on crack needles in the middle of the street, or you wouldn't see homeless people shitting in the middle of the streets. There's no thugs around, even in American cities, American cities just a crime-ridden hellhole. There's nothing but poverty in American cities. American cities are war zones for gangs. You could go. You could go to another country and not even experience that. Because like for instance, over there in the Philippines, I knew a guy that went over there in the Philippines. He felt more secure over there because like the actual police officers walk around with machine guns. So in other countries, if you was a criminal and you tried to go rob somebody or go rob or shoot up a place in public, certain countries will have police officers with armed guns that will shoot you on site. For instance, you have the like in the Philippines, they got actual armed guards with machine guns. It's normal to see a police officer guarding a building with a machine gun. Anybody try to do mass shooting, they gonna get shot on the spot. So the shootings in America don't necessarily come from gun ownership. Let's strip away the guns from people. No, it really comes from the environment and the type of people too. So would I say America is the best country? No, it's not. There's other countries better than America, but is America the worst country to live in? No, it's not, because you also got North Korea, and you got North Korea and other worse places than America. So America's not the worst on the list, but it's not the best on the list neither. Because the whole American dream is a lie. You get foreigners that will come over here and say, "Oh yeah, American dream. I get to come over here on a white picket fence house, a dog, nice car in the driveway, pretty wife at home, kids, nice job." All that stuff is slowly starting to disappear. The nice job is starting to disappear. The women in the West, pretty wife cooking at home, you could forget about that shit. Most of them are not wife material. Having kids is too expensive. Baby formula Similac is $80 per can. I'm pretty sure Pampers is expensive as hell too. And nice car and houses, and the interest rates on loans is high. Yeah, man, the whole lie is falling apart.
I think that's the main, I think most people already know this, but it's because we're just working all the time. We're working all the time. We barely have energy for ourselves. We barely have energy for our kids. We're fighting on the clock at work to stay afloat, to stay alive, to stay awake. You know, and we're constantly every single minute, every single second of every single day is consumed by work, consumed by money. How we're going to pay for food, how we're going to pay for water, how are we going to pay for our kids to eat, how we're going to pay for gas, how we're going to pay for electricity, how are we going to pay for car repairs in case they break down, how are we going to pay for all of things we have to pay for, right? So I think that's a big thing, right? I would say that one of the other things is just there's an overall sense of shame, right? There's a sense of shame when you complain to other people and you try to fight back and you try to talk about these issues, because like I've said before, Americans are so gaslit into believing this country is the greatest country in the world. They will defend it until their dying breath, even as corporations, even as the government continually strips away the rights away from normal, everyday, average working citizens, because that propaganda has been nailed into their head for so long and for so many years. They continue to believe the narrative. They continue to feed themselves the narrative that, look, this is the greatest country in the world. We're always on the side of good. We're always fighting against evil. I shouldn't be complaining, right? Because people have it much worse. People in so-and-so country. I hear it all the time. People tell me people have it much worse in Africa. People have it much worse over here. People have it much worse in India. There are so many other countries where people have it worse. And because of this, because of the shaming language that other people tell each other and we tell ourselves, right? About how there's an overall sense of guilt for feeling bad and for calling out the problems in this country, because calling out the problems in this country essentially means that you're going to get ridiculed and you're going to get attacked for it, because like I said, people have been so gaslit and so conditioned by the government to accept this narrative that we're the greatest country in the world. Another reason why I believe it's happening is because of the lack of unions. For example, once upon a time, there were actually unions back in the 70s, back in the 60s, 70s, 80s. There were labor unions. There were labor movement unions.
But all the labor union, yeah, but all the unions had got all the unions had got what I would say demolished or removed back in I forget the time and date, but I did my research on this topic when I was in college for business. At the time, and I was trying to pursue a business degree. Now I'm in the trade, but it was. I couldn't remember if it was Bush or somebody. I remember it was a Republican who stripped all the who took away all the unions, or was responsible for the reason why all the unions died off. But yeah, the unions began to die off due to government policies. And I wonder who did that. Killing off all of the unions had benefited the rich people. Yeah, without the unions or without workers fighting back, the rich man will screw you over, and there's nothing you can do about it because you won't have the strength to fight back. But back then, there used to be unions, though. Back in the day, it'll rich people fuck people over. Nowadays, you don't even see people going on strikes that much. People can't afford to go on strikes. You got bills to pay at home. Grocery prices are fucking high. Everything's fucking high. So if you're stuck in survival mode, then basically you have no strength to fight back. So Americans are too broke to fight back yet because they're in survival mode, panic mode.
People actually had a say in things, right? If people were being treated unfairly at work, if people were not getting paid enough at work, you could actually have, you could make a union. You could join a union. You could join a labor union, and you could actually fight to get some kind of fair wages, right? You could fight for get some kind of fair wages right now. And now what happens in corporations? Right now you got anti-union fucking propaganda in every single company that you've ever been in. Corporations are bad. Unions are bad. If you get with a union, then you might not, you might not have your job after that. If you get with a union, this could happen. You might negotiate wages, but you might not get the wages you want, and yada 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 yada. And that's how they convince you. That's how they convince you. Honestly, it's the fact that you can't, you don't really have unions like you did before, and joining a union could potentially mean losing your job, right?
Right.
So here's the other thing. The other thing is, I think people are just generally scared. They're scared in general, like I talked about in my previous video. This is going to be the last point as well. Like I talked about in my previous video about cancel culture. Cancel culture has been going on since what, 2015, 2016. It really took flight, right? But you see it all the time. You see it on TikTok, you see it on Instagram, you see it on Facebook. Like I talked in my previous video, in the Saw video, one wrong move and your life is over. Whether that's a false accusation, whether that's a car accident, whether that's losing your job.
Life is like chess. One wrong move can fuck up your life, really. And one move or one mistake you make could have an effect on your progress to success. Your life would be fucked up from just wrong mistake. I've seen it happen to a lot of people. So basically, you can't afford to go fuck up in today's current economy or system, shall I say? Because if you fuck up one time, since they made everything harder for the people, then you could be shit out of luck. That's why you don't see unions of people fighting back. People can't afford to fight back. People are too scared. People are stuck in survival mode. People think about themselves. They're stuck in their own bubble. Why would I risk my job to fight back if I know nobody else is going to fight back? So I'm gonna be the one that fight back and loses my job. Meanwhile, everybody else stays silent like a bunch of pussies, letting the rich man butt fuck them basically without lube. So let's say, for instance, I'm the one that's tired of the fucking going on. So I uprise and end up losing my home or losing my job and losing my wife. Because most of these modern women, they're gonna suck some other guy's cock if you lose your job. That's how they are. So you're gonna lose a wife, you're gonna lose the kids, you're gonna lose all that and fuck up your life just because you decided to go uprise and lose against the corruption at your job, and you lose your job. Because not like I said, your coworkers or everybody, nobody else is gonna back you up. People are a bunch of pussies. They keep their heads down out of fear. Oh, I don't want to piss master off. I'm gonna keep my head down. I don't want to piss master off. This is the plantation mentality of these damn people. That's my biggest problem with normies. Normies are too scared to fight back. Normies in general are just a bunch of ass kissers. Yeah, that's my biggest problem with the normies. But this this is basically a waste of time trying to be the hero in today's society. Trying to, I mean, you could be a truther, but really, to be honest, if you want to reach a lot of people and change the world will never change. The world will continue to get worse and worse and worse. So it's really not worth it trying to play the hero. I just gave up on. Sometimes you got to give up on the world and walk away and let the world burn. That's what I do. I just walk away and let the world burn. Oh well, nothing I could do about it. I'm just all you could do is just walk away and let the world burn. Why try to put the flames out when it's a waste of time? The flames is gonna just continue to keep coming. Just fuck it. Just let the damn world burn. That's pretty much all you have to do. This shit is gonna continue to get worse with this corruption going on. I'm about to wrap the video up, but that's all I wanted. The points I wanted to touch on in this video. I might finish the reaction to this video I might finish the reaction to it in another live stream. I'm supposed to be talking about the Epstein files tomorrow on my live stream at 12:30 p.m. if you want to check that out. So with that, I'm gonna say leave a like and subscribe, and the link to this guy's YouTube channel is in the description below if you want to check out the video, the original video to this. So with that, I'm gonna say peace out. Leave a like, subscribe, and peace out.